like, but if you're just a general like cinema lover, like you'll find things to like about it and respect for what it is.
I am he. I am that God.
What's up, YouTube? It's Drive-By Movies here, and you are watching
Fresh Releases.
My name is James.
My name is Blaze.
And today we're checking out the new film that hit Shudder, Glorious.
Your feelings tear you up inside, pure and raw. That's what I need from you.
What did you do, Wes?
Makes me wish I'd driven the extra 40 miles to the next rest stop.
That wouldn't have helped.
Why? Is there a troll living in that one?
So the brand new Shudder original Glorious is about a breakup where Wes ends up at a remote rest stop. He finds himself locked inside the bathroom with a mysterious figure speaking from an adjacent stall. Soon Wes realizes he is involved in a situation more terrible than he could ever imagine. So, as I said, this is the brand new film to Shudder. It's an original. It's starring Ryan Quanten, who is famous for Griff the Invisible. He's also in Dead Silence. And I feel like he's kind of disappeared for a while. Like, he hasn't really been in, much major stuff, but here he is on a Shudder original. Anyways, James, how'd you feel about this movie?
Yeah, it's a nice return for Ryan Quanten. I know he's done a couple things here and there, but of course, mainly known for True Blood. I think that lasted him a while in his career, and but I stopped watching True Blood after I think like 2 seasons or so, maybe 3. But he's aged a little, but still looks great though. And I think he can still carry projects. I really liked him in Dead Silence. I think James Wan and Lee Winnell, that was when they were starting. I like the scares within that movie and the overall environment that movie captures, but some of the dialogue wasn't really tightened up correctly, I thought you could say. But eventually, of course, they figure out their ways. But it's nice to see him leading in a movie again. But unfortunately, he's leading in a movie that's relatively dull. Not really a lot happens. We don't really leave one location the whole movie. But that's fine, though. It's actually still a very enjoyable movie. Definitely, I'm not sure if it's a quarantine movie. I just imagine it was, just because of the way it's shot and the location that's used. But it's effective with what it has, and definitely is a movie that grabbed my interest, with it being just barely under 90 minutes, funny, some good horror elements, and some decent gore.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny because this movie, the bathroom is like massive, but it does feel like there's a maximum occupancy of like 2.01 or something. Like there's only so many people allowed in this bathroom that is pretty big. Like, it's a pretty big set, but this film did suffer from being like the one location scenario. It really only takes place in this bathroom, aside from some exterior shots outside the bathroom. There's some awesome effects in this movie, but I did feel like this was kind of under the same realm of other films that take place in bathrooms, which you'll be surprised this is actually a genre.
Really? Because I was going to say, other than Saw, what else is there?
So there's a film, I think it's called Stalled. I could be wrong. I should have researched this before, but I've watched it. It's a zombie movie that all takes place in a stall. It's like a repairman in a high rise, and he's inside like a bathroom stall when there's a zombie outbreak. Film's surprisingly entertaining, but I know that there's definitely other movies that all take place in a bathroom. Obviously, there's many movies that have scenes in a bathroom, but this is, entirely filmed and located in one bathroom. It's beyond just the stall; it's the whole bathroom. But I mean, give it or leave it. Like, I could kind of go away from just having a film that's located in. It's fun. It's a fun writing exercise to have films that are located in exactly one location. Like, how can you make this entertaining? I felt like this film, like you said, it's kind of dull at times. It does lack the creature effects and just kind of the overall gimmick. Like, it is really silly. Like, the fact that there's kind of this glory hole and some kind of ethereal cosmic being speaking through it. Like, I liked all that aspect of just like the fact that this is kind of like a it's that cosmic movie. It's kind of inspired by like Lovecraftian horror. It has that going for it.
the movie Color Out of Space, the one with Nick Cage. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's also like a Lovecraftian film, so it definitely has those elements to it, especially in the coloring, even on the poster. Like they're kind of alluding to the fact that this is very similar theme-wise, like cosmic horror to Color Out of Space. I feel like the stakes aren't as really high because our character count location is really low in this movie, but I felt like at times this film was pretty entertaining. At other times this film kind of dragged on, as a little dull, but like you said, it's below 90 minutes, so I definitely feel like you're in and out. So if you didn't like it, like it's pretty much over by the time you realize that you hated it or something.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's a hard movie, I'd say, to... Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a hard movie to dislike, but if you're just a general like cinema lover, like you'll find things to like about it and respect for what it is. It doesn't capture the whole one location thing as better as like a movie like Blair Witch Project or Open Drift, where only one location for those movies, or maybe like a couple exterior shots or intros for the beginning. But when they get to like the horrific elements and stuff, sometimes it feels like, all right, they're like forcing them to be stuck in there. But that wasn't so much the case with Open Water, as well as I might have said Open Drift earlier, I think, but I meant to say Open Water. But that, as well as with Blair Witch Project, like it felt believable with them being trapped out in the wilderness and everything. But with this, like I was just like, all right, now they're kind of just forcing him to be stuck in the bathroom. Like he had the opportunity to leave when the maintenance guy or the guy came in, and but just for whatever reason, like just the God being of J.K. Simmons was just like, no, like you messed up this guy, and like now everything's messed up because of him and stuff. Those kind of things are just like what drags the movie down, where it's just like, all right, like you need to get something to happen, you need to keep the story going and get a kill in there because it's technically a horror film, but like it just feels forced with just like, here's his opportunity to go, he should have tried harder, didn't get that opportunity and everything, I felt like. And yeah, those are the few things that hold back, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. And when it comes to performance from J.K. Simmons, as you mentioned, like I do feel like he kind of phoned it in. Like he doesn't obviously appear in this movie, and he's just a voiceover. So I do feel like maybe this was a straight up phone in. Like his character that he plays is like interesting and fun. The creature effects, honestly, in this movie did surprise me, because there was some special effects that weren't that great in this movie. But kind of when we get to that climax moment, like the creature effects were pretty cool. I'm like, oh, that's actually like really disgusting, and it was effective. But like some of the visual effects, like maybe towards the beginning, weren't as effective. But yeah, I felt like this film overall like might have done better as kind of a short film. It did almost feel, when it comes to the runtime alone, it was like an extended short film or something. But I did feel like this is like one of those short stories that maybe you adapted. Like I don't think it is based on a short story, but I do feel like it gave that vibe of like, oh, this is maybe adapted from a short story or something. It had that vibe that it might have been shorter at one point, and this was kind of lengthened out for a feature film, although I know that's not the case.
I wouldn't have been surprised, but that's a bummer not to hear it. But yeah, I mean, that's not really much to talk about, because yeah, I mean, we basically described the whole movie except for the ending. We don't really want to spoil it because it's a brand new movie. But it's effective first feature film from Rebecca McKendry. Interested to see where else she can go. This is a great start to her. I'm not sure what other movies she's directed. I did see that she had a couple others, but like, getting a movie picked up by Shudder is like, great business these days. It seemed to be working well for movies like Watcher, The Innocents, as well as a few other handful of movies that we've brought up over the years too, that we've reviewed on the show. But Ryan Kwanten, J.K. Simmons, like those are great people to bring on board. J.K. Simmons, I think, just overall didn't work out the best, I'd say. Like I think he was hired just based off of him saying, not my tempo. But you could have got someone a little bit better there, I'd say. Yeah, don't let us be the judge of it. What are your thoughts on it? Be sure to check out the movie yourself. You can check it out on Shudder. It's also available to rent, so be sure to catch it through our Amazon affiliate link in our description box below.
And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and click that notification bell to get all of our latest updates.
And if you can't get enough of our updates here on YouTube, be sure to catch all our social media links down below for Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Anyways, guys, that'll conclude this week's episode. Tune in next week for a brand new video.